Let's Uncommon Fossil today. I want to take a look at Gardevoir EX and how the deck has been updated to include some of the Paldea Evolved cards and the changing meta. Right? I've looked at Gardevoir EX in the past, haven't done it in a bit, partly it's a deck to me that when it sets up, it's tremendous. So, I mean, that's the great thing. And Gardevoir EX's ability, I'll just hit that first, right? You know, Gardevoir EX is stage 2, 310 HP, so solid, hard, very tanky for a 2-price card. And it's got Psychic Embrace. As often as you like during your turn, you may attach a basic Psychic Energy card from the discard pile to one of your Psychic Pokemon. When you do that, you put 2 damage counters on that Pokemon, and you can't knock out a Pokemon with this ability. So you have to stop before a Pokemon be knocked out. So tremendous energy acceleration from the discard pile. You can really just get a lot of energy into play every turn. Really, really powerful. So I mean, I love it. It's awesome, right? And its attack is useful. Miracle Force does 190 for 3. Pokemon cards from all special conditions. That's not particularly a big factor. But this Gardevoir EX, the ability stage 2, really good. And Gardevoir EX, Gardevoir evolves from Kirlia, which is a tremendous engine unto itself, right? Refinement ability, discard a card from hand, draw 2 cards. So a great ability, a very good ability. And so it has that. It evolves from Ralts, which you have a couple options of the 70 HP Ralts, which I play 3 of, and I play 1 of the 60 HP because that has Memory Skip, which is a useful attack at times. So it does 10 damage, but then you choose one of your opponent's active Pokemon's attacks, and they can't use that attack the next turn. So that does have value also. So in there, and then there is a single prize Gardevoir. There's also a single prize Gallade, not including that here, but the Gardevoir with Shining Arcana, 2 copies of that. Once during your turn, you may look at the top 2 cards of your deck, attach any cards you find there to your Pokemon any way you want, and the rest of the cards go in hand. So quite a nice ability also. And then its attack is good. Brainwave for 3. Getting energy on is very easy, of course, with Gardevoir. It does 60 damage plus 30 more for each psychic energy attached to this Pokemon. So it can add up to some pretty good damage on a single prize Pokemon. And of course, since Gardevoir is also Kirlia, you like getting the Kirlias into play so you can get it set up pretty easily. And we play Rare Candy to get those Gardevoir EXs up on turn 2. With it. So very, very nice set of cards for sure. The problem I find is sometimes the deck doesn't like to set up, and then I'm just in a bit of trouble, right? If you don't get those Kirlias into play, or you don't get Manaphy down to protect, right? The deck plays Manaphy with Wave to protect the bench. These Kirlias you have to protect for something like Radiant Greninja, but obviously giving up, then you lose a bench slot and you do slow yourself down in the process, but it's a price that needs to be paid sometimes for sure. Radiant Greninja, concealed cards, part of the engine 2. It's a basic. You discard an energy and draw 2 cards into hand, so we need to get those energies into the discard pile. That's good. And it's a basic. You can do it turn 1. So it really pairs well with things. So I guess, and then the Pokemon here, we have Mew, Mysterious Tales, 1 copy of that. Look at the top 6 cards in deck. Put an item into hand, so useful. And retreat cost is 1. We can accelerate an energy with Gardevoir and retreat, and then the energy goes in discard. You can accelerate back to another Pokemon, so paying retreat cost not a problem with this deck. And then the other attacker, which does the big damage, is Roar of the Sword. Zacian V. It does Storm Slash. The attack does for 3 energy, 60 damage plus 30 more for each energy attached to this Pokemon. So that is the same attack as Gardevoir, but at 220 HP, you can throw a lot more energy onto it. You can knock out an opposing Gardevoir EX or Mew or any Pokemon. I believe you can one-shot any Pokemon in the game potentially. You do need a lot of energy to the discard to make that happen, and that's not always possible. So you got to be careful about that. If you know you're going to need to do big damage to get like 9 energies attached, just don't leave them attached to the Pokemon, or you can't pull that attack off. I've had that issue, something I've learned the hard way. And Roar of the Sword ability is quite nice also. Once during your turn, you may search your deck for a psychic energy, attach it to one of your Pokemon, and then your turn ends. So turn 1 especially, or later if you can't attack, it's a nice option to get another energy into play, just setting up your next turn. So quite a very, very nice set of Pokemon. That hasn't changed a lot from my previous video, But then we'll get into some of the other things that have changed. The energies have changed a little bit. We're playing 11 basic energies. Some people play 10. I just like, you know, you have those big energy attacks you need, so I like having the extra energy in there. And then one reversal energy, which really helps on the single prize Gardevoir, because what it does, reversal energy, it provides one colorless energy to any Pokemon any time in the game. That's not great, but if you have more prize cards remaining than your opponent, and you'll have that occasion in most games at some point. A lot of times prizes go back and forth. Then if it's attached to an evolution Pokemon that doesn't have a rule box, meaning Gardevoir EX, I mean Kirlia also, but you don't really want to tackle that. So for not Gardevoir EX, the single prize Gardevoir, then it provides 3 energy of every type, of any type. So it will provide 3 psychic energy, so it gives a very nice boost to Gardevoir single prize damage level, and you can knock out a bigger Pokemon with it with a single prize Pokemon. It is quite nice. So it's a nice include. We just have 1 copy. I'll just go back. Generally that's what people play in the deck, so it's a bit hit or miss when you get it, right? But you know, like I said, the Gardevoir Kirlia engine is quite solid. Just going through the cards, we do play the Iono, right? A new from Paldea Evolved, obviously. 4 copies of that, a good way to set up or to punish your opponent late in the game when they have more prizes than you. Let's take a look. And for the new cards, it also plays Artazon, which is a very nice, just 1 copy in this build, but once during your turn, you may search your deck for a basic Pokemon that doesn't have a rule box and put it onto your bench, so you're getting your Ralts into play is what it does, and that's certainly useful. Just taking a quick look at the other trainers the deck plays. 3 Ultra Balls to get at Pokemon and to discard energies. 3 Rare Candy. 3's plenty. You could drop it to 2. Obviously, you just generally need 1 over the course of the game. Sometimes the second one if things get knocked out, but usually 1 is fine. But 3 just makes it easier to get, and therefore, if you discard 1, if you need to discard 1, it's okay. Rare Candy lets you jump right from the basic Pokemon to the stage 2, so it lets you on turn 2 get a Gardevoir EX into play for good damage. 3 Level Ball to get. We have a number of Ralts, Kirlia, low HP Pokemon helps there. 1 Worker, draw 3 and discard a Stadium. Partly it's there to bump Path, right? Because Path means we can't use Gardevoir EX, so we don't want Path in play. That's one of our big enemies. Battle VIP Pass, like it in a deck like this, because turn 1, you want to get a bunch of basics into play. It helps with that. But then also with the Kirlias, you can toss this away after turn 1. So rather than just being a dead card that you stare at in your hand the rest of the game, you get it out of the way. So I don't mind Battle VIP Pass in a discarding deck like this. 3 Fog Crystal, search for a basic Psychic Pokemon or Psychic Energy. A very good card in a Psychic deck like this. Talked about Iono. 2 Super Rod. Oh, that's another Paldea Evolved card. Put in any combination of energy, basic energy, or Pokemon from your discard pile into your deck. A way to recover the Zacian V. We only play 1 copy of that, or something else. It's quite nice rather than having to use a supporter like Miriam to do that. This is, I think, a better card using an item for that. 1 Pal Pad to put up to 2 supporters back in your deck. 1 Temple of Sinnoh. Special energies have no effect, so that certainly causes opponents some matchups difficulties. 1 Penny. I do like the card. Put a basic Pokemon and all attached cards into your hand, so get like a Zacian V out of play or something. Now, the downside, if you have a Zacian V, say, with a lot of energy on it, all the energy goes into your hand, and you can't then re-accelerate it with Gardevoir, so you need to try to get the energies back in the discard, but just something to be aware of. But getting like a damaged Zacian V, a 2-prizer that's been hit into with a lot of damage out of play, as a cheap 2-prize target, is very nice. 1 Research, just to help dig a little. Artazon, I mentioned. 1 Collapsed Stadium, reduces your bench down to 4 for both players. Another way to get some damaged Pokemon out of play. In this case, that damaged Pokemon goes into the discard pile along with any energy attached. So that's often if you have like a damaged Zacian V with a lot of energy attached, you can get it to the bench, play Collapsed Stadium, get rid of it in the discard. That's even a better solution. And 2 Boss's Order, just a super strong supporter to help end the game. So let's take a look on the ladder with the deck. Like I said, it's a little high roll the deck, but when it sets up, you are in great shape. All right, so I'll choose heads like usual. Want to go first, so hopefully I win. But let's see. I did win, so I get to go first. I've been having some bad luck on coin tosses when I've been working on this deck list and testing it out, where I'm going second a lot. It definitely suffers a lot from going second, which that's another reason a deck like this doesn't appeal to me quite as much. I don't like the huge penalty for going second. Now, that's a really lousy starting hand. Okay, Jet Energy, Psychic Energy. So up against Lost Zone, I would guess, right? Jet Energy for the comfies, I'm thinking. But we'll see in Sableye and maybe a Giratina build, right, with a Psychic Energy. Maybe Giratina, Lost Zone. We will see what we see. Okay, so this is not a good starting hand. This is a horrible starting hand. And this could be a short game because, okay, I can get one more Pokemon to play. So, all right, I'm not going to get donked. That's good. Get a Ralts down. If I had a switch card, I might have got a Mew, but Ralts is probably better anyway. I have a Kirlia, so not a good start for this game, right? You really need to get more Pokemon in play. So it's going to be a slow start. If I get a Ralts knocked out, which there's a decent chance. The fact they had to start the Giratina V, though, that's definitely a plus. They have Comfy, so that's 2 in the Lost Zone. They need to get 4 in the Lost Zone so they can attack with Cramorant, which will take a knockout, and that knockout would hurt a lot. Because then I'm down to 1 Ralts, which I can Kirlia, and I'm really hoping to get something useful. I might play Collapsed Stadium this next turn. We'll see what happens. So the Grass Energy is expected. Switching Ralts doesn't really matter. The Memory Skip attack could be useful, but if I'm attacking with Memory Skip with my other Ralts knocked out, I'm essentially losing the game. All right, so now they're going to get their 4th card in the Lost Zone. And, yeah, not good. If they fill their bench, I'll play Collapsed Stadium. If they don't fill their bench, I don't think I'll do that. So they need a switch card. They have Rope. Okay, so taking the knockout. Oh, okay, they're not going to take the knockout. Well, I appreciate that. They're going to set themselves up for next turn. So they're going to attack, I assume, with the Giratina V-Star next turn. Because they're at 6 cards in the Lost Zone. They just need 1 more to make that work. So I think I want to get... All right, what am I going to do here? I might leave that Ralts with Memory Skip in the active. Probably don't really want that card, but what am I getting rid of here? That's a good question. I'll get rid of Worker, I guess. No, I'll get rid of Pal Pad. I'm going to Iono. Okay. Actually, I guess I'm going to research. I guess, do I research? Wow, it's really dicey to research, though, isn't it? I have no energy in the discard. I'm in such trouble here. So much trouble. I don't have a switch card. I don't... do I want to Rare Candy to Gardevoir? And then Iono? I don't think I want a Gardevoir yet. I mean, not Gardevoring seems so bad to do. But, yeah, the problem is... okay, this is pretty terrible. Yeah, pretty terrible. Alright, so I will get... I could get Zacian and attack, so an energy to it. I'm going to do this. I need to get energy to the discard. I need so much luck to go my way. I'm going to hit him with Memory Skip, see if I can get lucky. I probably don't get that lucky. But if they can't get into the card in the Lost Zone and they can't evolve, and they can't evolve, they can't attack, right? So that's not... I mean, it's a real... It's a hope. This move is hope. If they knock out the Ralts, I get an energy in the Lost Zone, which isn't terrible. They'll probably use Artazon, I would suspect. I would have thought using the Artazon before Colorist would have been good, just to thin things out. to draw into some cards they want. So they have the cards in the Lost Zone. They can use Mirage Gate at this point. So Jet Energy. Oh, they're discarding Jet Energy. Okay. I mean, they could have taken the knockout with Cramorant there, right? Attached Jet Energy. Knocked me out. Switch card. Okay. And you know, I'm in a bad. I can keep saying bad for a while, and it won't get, you know, and I don't think it'll fully express how bad a spot I'm in here. But it was a terrible turn one. I won the coin toss, so that was awesome. That hasn't been going my way often. But then I had such a bad start, right? So I'll set up Kirlia, hoping if I can get the single prize Gardevoir, I can attack and take a knockout. I think that's kind of where I'm at now. I don't think I want to get Zacian to play yet either. I'll put Mew on the bench. It's not a terrible option either. Get rid of Battle VIP Pass is the obvious candidate there. All right, I'll use a Radiant Greninja ability. I have energy, basic energy. I mean, I could Penny, and I might end up pennying here too. Penny is kind of an interesting play in this case. All right, so I got the Kirlia. No, I can't penny. I was thinking of pennying the active, but one can't do that. So penny's just a basic. So get rid of my other Battle VIP Pass. I'm gonna Iono. Do I want to do anything else before I Iono? Could force him to get rid of a card. I don't think it hurts him that much at this moment. I think I want to save that, so I'm going to Iono. I could toss down Zacian, but I think I need to make something happen here. And I hit the card I needed, so that is very nice. Okay. I'll throw down Manaphy because they have Radiant Greninja with energy on it, so that's a plus. That's good. I can attack for knockout, and I can use Shiny Arcana. I want to have to attach here. This is not good, though. I think it's fair to say. I'm just thinking, you know, because they're at 8 cards. So if I get a Gardevoir EX into play, Giratina V-Star will knock it out with 2 energies, right? So they're going to knock me out. They can just attach a 3rd energy and knock me out with the way this is. I'll send up the Mew, which is fine. Let's see what they do, though. They're taking out Manaphy. All right. Makes sense. I do have... all right, well, I have... Let's see. Do I have any energy, too? What am I at? I might be able to... Can I knock them out? That's what I want to do now. So I'm doing 150, 60, 70, 80. I need 3 energy at the moment, right? That's what I need. I need 3 energy in play. All right, let me just thin partly I want to thin the deck, right? Getting another, this for a future turn is not bad, but also thinning the deck. Could have sent up the Mew, but I don't want to, not sure. Maybe I should have sent up Mew. Because all right, Collapsed Stadium. I need 3 energies, I think. So if I see an energy here, then I have what I need. I didn't get that. 150. This does 210. Okay, so then I guess I'm gonna work her, right? I do want to get that knockout. Oh, I want to get Manaphy back into the deck too. So let me, because I don't mind playing the Manaphy down either. Do I want? All right, I'll grab the other Ralts, assuming I'm going to lose this Gardevoir. All right, an energy. Okay, that is what was needed. It's not terrible. Oh, I can get Manaphy down. So I want to get Manaphy onto the bench. So that is part of what I want to do too. So it does 210. I could thin. I don't think I want to get rid of an energy. Do I want to discard that energy though? Maybe I do. Just it helps set up my Zacian play, right? For Zacian, I need a lot of energies in the discard. So let me churn through energies here. You know, attaching that energy to Gardevoir could be costly. We'll see. No, I could take out the V-Star with the Zacian fairly straightforward. So I'm just going to attack 240. So that's good, right? Taking out 2 prizes with a single prizer is always good. I actually go ahead in the prize race temporarily, which does, of course, mean my Gardevoir is not so effective. And even next turn, that Gardevoir is just a single colorless energy. So we'll see what happens here, right? If they knock out my Gardevoir, I have options. If they don't knock out my Gardevoir, I do have Boss. So Sableye, where are they at? They're at 8. They'll get to 9. I need 10 for Sableye to take out my Manaphy. If they have, there's the one Pokemon, right, that does 10 to 2, then they could take 2 prizes next turn. They can put, right, they have to put 70 on Manaphy otherwise, though. Let's see. Okay. So obviously they can take me out with Cramorant there. I can take out Giratina with Zacian. I might want to do that. All right, I'll send up the Mew. I could retreat the Mew. The danger to me. Let's see. I have to be careful with damage counters though too. Let's see what they do. So taking out Manaphy. But that's not the worst thing in the world. That's really not terrible. 60, 70, 80, 60. So I think I don't want to see. Partly what I'm thinking now is I don't want to be doing damage counter spread here. I don't want to be placing damage counters. It's bad for me. So I want to. All right. So I want to evolve here. Make life hard for them. I do have Cresselia also. I think I just want to... Okay, that's not bad. I think I want to Collapsed Stadium, just shrink their bench 1, right? Just make them lose. No, actually, I don't want... right now, I want to keep that Giratina in play, right? So I think I just gonna attack. I'm gonna get rid of Temple of Sinnoh. I'll assume it's only gonna hurt myself. All right, the Rod is there cards I want back. Oh man, I could Manaphy. I could get the Manaphy back, right? Which isn't terrible. 150. I could actually take out that Gardevoir this turn, right? 70, 80. All right, so let me Rod back the Manaphy. So if I take, let's see, I'm at 150, 60, 70, 80, 210. So I can take out, yeah, I'll take out the Gardevoir this turn. And I believe that will get me exactly what then I'm down to 1 prize, and I should be able to pull that off next turn, right? So now I'm doing 240, and that's okay. That is beautiful. I could try. Can I get the Manaphy? Not really, right? I can't get the Manaphy. Oh, maybe now I'll Collapsed Stadium them, right? Actually, I don't. Do I want to Collapsed Stadium? I'm going to Collapsed Stadium. That could be a mistake. Because I'm out of stadiums, right? So that could be a mistake, right? Path causes me a lot of trouble now. But use my ability. Okay. Got a penny. That's not terrible either. That could be useful. Take 2 prizes. So now I'm down to, so now they're down to 1 prize. So that's good. So I just need to knock out any Pokemon in play. They can't win this turn. Well, no, actually they can't win. They can take 2 prizes with this Pokemon, but they can't win the game, right? So, right, essentially they're giving up with this. They knock out the active, they knock out the Kirlia, but I just send up the Gardevoir. And I have game. So that is, so it worked out well. I may have maybe I shouldn't have played Collapsed Stadium. I'm not sure. I did that to make their turn a little more difficult, but I did give myself the risk of losing the game with a I guess the stadium got bigger, I guess, because my opponent conceded. That was a little odd there at the end, right? The bench got bigger. Obviously, the stadium was still in play. The stadium still should have been in effect. I guess my opponent conceded. It, quote, ended the game, and somehow things defaulted. That was a bit odd, but there we go. So the deck was able to pilot successfully. I definitely need some work with Gardevoir. I am rusty with it. Once you're set up, it does allow for a lot of good things to happen. You know, do you set up? It's, for me, one of the big questions. So can you set up first, right? And that's the big thing, and then making good decisions after that. So Gardevoir's changed a little bit. It's still very similar. I think all the bugs are fixed in live. I'm not fully sure. So it's worth your time. Take care.